Hello, and thanks for checking out Level. Today we're going to talk about scripting. Scripting is the ability to push an action to many devices at once. So let's see how this is done. Up here at the top, I'm going to select Scripts, and here we have a list of all the scripts that are available to us that we've saved. Let's go ahead and create a new script. Let's call this one Hello World. And so we'll give it a description. Here we have the ability to pick the language that we're using. In this case, I'm going to be pushing this to some Windows devices, but I could push this to Linux or to Mac OS. Here, the timeout simply says how long will we allow this script to run before it responds, before we'll forcibly stop it. And here, let's just say hello world. Forgot the hello. So we'll create the script. All right, so here it is. It's created. We can go in and we can edit this if we'd like, but we're going to call this later. Scripts can be one-liners like what we just made, or they can be quite elaborate. Here is a PowerShell script that was created by Chad Simmons, so we'll give a shout out to Chad, but this was pulled from GitHub, and this is a script that will clean up disk space. It's very thorough, but all you do is you can paste the contents of the PS1, and you can call this script whenever you need to on any device. The second tab we have here is Jobs, and this is a list of the history here at the bottom of the jobs, or here at the top we have a list of the current queue. Now this will probably make more sense once we actually create a job, so let's do that now, and then we'll come back to this. Since I picked PowerShell as the scripting language, I'm going to go ahead and select these Windows devices, and I can identify those by the icons here, so I'm just going to pick these three, and I'm going to go up here to Scripts. I could choose to run a new script, and I could just write it here on the fly, and I could say save this and review job, and that would create the script for later use in the script library. But instead, I'm going to choose script and run save script. And let's pick hello world. And here we get a chance to review the contents of that, and we can even edit this right now if we wanted to. Keep in mind that unless I check this, it would not save my edits, and so it would only be something used for this time. So let's just go ahead and put in here hello world with 3 exclamation points. Okay, let's review the job. Now we have a pending job. Up at the top, we can see the job number and the title. We have the description. If I want to edit the script, I still have a chance to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to back up and go to jobs, and now we'll see that here in the queue, we have this job that's sitting here and it's just pending. It's not running because I need to start it. So let's go back into it. If I click this execute script button, we will see that the execution will start. If I click expand all here, we can see real time what's happening. Now this is a very simple script, and so it just ran immediately. There wasn't anything we needed to wait for, but it's really useful to see the output of that script on every device that it ran on. And now we can see that it was successful, took 3 seconds to run. If we go back to the scripts and job tab, we'll see that it was job number 614 and that it was completed. And I can click back in here and I can always view the history of that job. Another thing to point out on a job that has already been executed is that we have the ability to rerun it. Now, sometimes we'll see that the script will fail on a device for some reason. It's currently grayed out because everything ran successfully. But if we had, for example, a device where it did not run, then we could say rerun this script on only the failed devices. Or we could rerun on all devices. So let's see what this looks like. I can rerun it. I have the ability to edit it if I would like to. I'll go ahead and take away the 2 exclamation points and rerun on all devices. Now, what this does is it creates a new job. You'll see that we have a new job number here. I can execute this script, and it's going to treat it as a new independent script. And there we see we only have 1 exclamation point now. If we go back to our scripts, we have the 2 discrete jobs that were run. So that's a simple job. Let's do something maybe a little more interesting. Let me go back to the scripts and let's pick something. This is perfect. If anyone is familiar with the Microsoft bug that was known as Print Nightmare, earlier in the year, there was a vulnerability where the print spooler could be used to run code. And due to this vulnerability, Microsoft's immediate response to this was, if you don't need the print spooler to run, then simply disable the service. And then that vulnerability will not be a problem in your environment. As you can imagine, many people do need to print, and so it wasn't possible just to go and disable print spooling everywhere. But while we were waiting for a patch from Microsoft to address this, we could limit the attack surface. What this script does is quite simple. It first determines, are there any printers? Is the print spooler service enabled and running? We had an edge case where some remote desktop servers needed the ability to print, and so we had to determine, is it a remote desktop server? If it met this criteria, then we could disable that print spooler service. What we did is, for some of our clients, we were able to select all the servers, we had the script, and we could simply run it in mass and take care of the problem. So we'll do that really quickly here on just these 3 devices. I'll run a save script, and we'll disable the print spooler service. I do notice 2 of these devices that I'm running this on is running Windows 11, not Windows Server. This feature right here will most likely throw an error, but it should still show up as null and still disable the print spooler service. Before I do that, let's just jump in and see, is the print service running? So here it is. We see that it's set to automatic and it is running. So this is a good example. All right, scripts, run a save script. All right, let's execute the job. Okay, like I expected, this get Windows feature couldn't handle the RDS RD server command because it was a desktop OS. Those 2 had that error, but this one is a server. It went through just fine without any errors, and we can see that there was a message that was in that script that simply told us that there was success and that it disabled the service. And as expected, it actually did it on these desktops as well. But now let's confirm our work. Let's go into the server and look at the services. And there we go. It stopped and it's disabled. So that's scripting. We hope this was helpful in understanding how to leverage scripts to better manage many devices with very little effort. We hope this was informative for you, and we'd like to thank you for choosing Level.